Deadfish might become a future Splatoon villain, and if that happens, we might actually regret helping Deadfish in Side Order. Now, let's start with the obvious. Deadfish has been sanitized. You know that, I know that, my friend that has literally never played Splatoon before knows that. When you play on an 8 palette, you get, instead of the locker keys, you get 3 of Marina's dev diaries. However, these dev diaries aren't actually made by Marina. They're a message from Act to Marina. Now, at first, they seem pretty simple, like, it's really not that big of a thing, like, it's quite simple. But then when you actually start to look at it, it's a little bit more. Now, if you complete 8 palette, you get these 3 extra dev diaries. These are kind of like messages from Arct or Deadfish to Marina. Now, at first they seem quite simple, there's not really much there, but then when you really look at it, it's quite a lot more. The final dev diary says this: From Act, Hey Marina, you can guess the chaos your desertion caused. I ended up without much to do except make music. You remember the club way down in the lowest levels of the base? I DJ'd there for a long time, since I knew it was the one place where the brass wouldn't get caught dead. As time went on, I got more and more into it, to the point where music was all I thought about. Honestly, that whole period of my life is kind of a haze. But thanks to getting sucked into the world of Order, I caught up with you again, so maybe it wasn't such a bad thing. After all, I found my way to the surface. I'm back to making my kind of music. Here we go again, right? If you're ever up for it, we should jam. P.S. Consider me an off-the-hook fan. I found a record I think Paul would like, so I'll send it over later. Give my best to 8. When you think about it, these dev diaries are kind of like Oct wanting to go back to the past, you know, before there was a whole change. You know, what Splatoon Order? A world without change. When you complete Side Order, Arct stays around, not really to help save the world. She says it's so that she can learn more about something. That something is Poe's voice. Like something happened with Poe's voice that she cares about. And the only real major thing that we know about Poe's voice, apart from it's really loud and really powerful, is it was used to kill Tartar. At the same time, Deadfish, or Arct, I'm gonna keep flipping between their names, was in the deep sea metro, you know, right below where Poe's mega voice was. And now, going back to the dev diaries again, if you look at the final one, you can see this green goo that looks a lot like the sanitization goo. Now, this could just be like an extra detail thing, but if you go back between the previous ones, you can't see the sanitization goo anywhere. Now, this is also the same exact like dev diary that Arct talks about getting sucked into the world of Order. So this, like, I know this is a bit of a stretch, but in my opinion, this does sort of feel like Arct knows about sanitization goo because she doesn't really care too much about it if you look in the background. Like, she just has a completely blank expression. Now, what do I think Deadfish will do? Well, you see, Deadfish has admitted they're not exactly a fighter, so they couldn't stop us themselves. But what if Deadfish tried to reverse engineer Pearl's voice, like what happened with Pearl's voice, and try find the opposite, like a way to counter out it and bring back Tartar? From a gameplay perspective, this also works. I mean, DJ Octavio got reused 3 times, Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 3 Return of the Mammalians. Callie got used as a hero twice, but also as a villain, like they used a pre-existing character. Agent 3 got reused as a villain, like she was the protagonist in Splatoon 1, but became a villain in Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. Mr. Grizz was from Splatoon, like the villain of Return of the Mammalians, was from the Grizzco game mode in Splatoon 2. The Deep Cut, they were like mini villains in Splatoon 3. They are also the idols of Splatoon 3. And then we get Octostomp, who was in Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, Splatoon 3. That's 4 uses of the same boss. So, Tartar could come back. I mean, like, boss fights have come back. With the Agent 3 example, Agent 3 also got brought back in the form of Inner Agent 3 in Splatoon 2 Oxo expansion. Same game, but like technically brought back. It was just a harder version though. Now, if what I theorized is right, then let's just hope we can crush Dedf1sh's plan before they manage to go onward and progress with bringing Tartar to the promised land above.